Coming up on Mountain News this morning, one southeastern Kentucky family is mourning the loss of one of their own after he was killed in a crash. And a new initiative is aimed at making it easier for Eastern Kentucky businesses to find and keep workers.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Welcome to Mountain News This Morning. I'm Neely Green here with you on this Tuesday, December 23rd. The time is now 5:32, and let's check in with meteorologist Megan Desmond for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, like you said earlier, it's Christmas Eve, and I'm excited for Christmas.
Oh, I am too. And unfortunately, it's not the Christmas feel that you would expect. However, it's definitely pleasant. So I'm enjoying those temperatures as we're heading throughout the week. Right now, we're even seeing some 50s across the board, with the exception of some of our West Virginia and Virginia counties, which are a tad chillier in a mixture of the 40s. But don't worry, by the time we head into the afternoon, everybody will be sharing the warmth card as those upper 50s and low 60s take over the forecast. Definitely going to be a pleasant day with a little bit of some chances of scattered showers all throughout your Tuesday. Now here's a look at what we're seeing right now. Again, not a lot of activity on the radar, but this is what we're pretty much expecting all day long, calming down a little bit towards the middle of the day and then picking up as we're heading overnight. Neely.
Megan, thank you. One Southern Kentucky family is reeling over a sudden loss. 93-year-old Crip Moses died after a traffic crash Saturday night in Knox County. His grandson says Moses lived a long, full life, but they still hope to spend a lot more time with him. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more.
At 93, Crip Moses showed no signs of slowing down.
We call him a stubborn old man, so he was going to make it to 100.
But his life was cut short. He was headed toward Barberville Saturday night when police say a tractor trailer was preparing to turn left when Moses' car collided with it. Now with Christmas just days away, they're preparing to say goodbye to a man who made giving to others a big part of who he was.
Anybody that knew him didn't forget him. He was just a very caring, very hardworking.
He loved his family and thrived in staying busy, whether that meant being with his grandkids or playing with cows on the farm. Sometimes life has a way of knocking you down, but his grandson says he always found a way to get back up.
Last year, a cow knocked him over and broke his hip. They told him he wouldn't walk, and it was going to take several weeks of therapy. And next thing you know, he's up walking and didn't do a day of therapy. He's that stubborn.
What exactly caused this collision remains under investigation by Kentucky State Police. In fact, they shut down US 25 for a time Monday for a reconstruction. His grandson is a fire chief and says the loss has given him a new understanding and appreciation of dealing with the tragedy.
It hurts knowing it's your family. It definitely helps put it in a little bigger perspective.
Moses was born in the 1930s and he lived through a lot. Now his family hates the fact they're going to have to learn how to live without him. In Knox County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Hopper Funeral Home will be handling arrangements for Crip Moses. A beloved member of a Southern Kentucky school and law enforcement community has died. School resource officer Pat Alfred died of natural causes. He was only 56. Alfred was the SRO at Camp Middle and High Schools in Knox County. He began with Barberville City Police, then transitioned to working at Bluegrass Airport in Lexington. He also worked as an arson investigator with State Police before retiring and then devoting his life to working with school kids. His funeral will be Sunday at Hopper Funeral Home.
He cared deeply about the youth in Knox County. He was friendly. He would go out of his way to help the kids or help anybody in the citizens of Knox County.
Knox County school leaders say it's an SRO's job to keep kids safe and to build relationships, and they say Alfred did both. In Floyd County, one Pike County man is in jail after he reportedly threatened to kill a police officer. It happened last week when police say they were responding to a domestic situation in the Herald area. Police say Richie Ward admitted to grabbing and shaking his girlfriend by her shoulders. When one of the officers placed Ward in their cruiser, they say he tried to get away from them and said he would kill them and burn their houses down with their families inside. Tonight will mark 1 year since the death of Doug Harless. State police say a London officer shot and killed Harless in his home. They were trying to serve a search warrant. We've covered this case extensively in the past year, but a lot of our questions about the shooting have not been answered. We've obtained dispatch audio that indicates officers could have been at the wrong home. We also haven't been able to see the warrant police were trying to serve. The Appalachian Horse Project, a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting the free-roaming horses of eastern Kentucky, recently announced a new center to help the horses and boost the local economy. The Appalachian Horse Center at Minard Farm in Perry County contains more than 80 acres of land and will serve as a refuge for the horses. The land will be leased to HAP from the Perry County Fiscal Court, who believes this will also act as a tourism boost.
So we're just excited with everything that Leatherwood is coming together to grow our tourism. The overall is how do we grow our tourism, how do we get those outside dollars in, and this is another piece of that puzzle, and we're excited about that.
The center is expected to open in the spring. Officials with AHP say there will be tours, activities, and the old Minard house will eventually be converted into an Airbnb for guests to stay. A new initiative is aimed at making it easier for Eastern Kentucky businesses to find and keep workers. The Eastern Kentucky Concentrated Employment Program is launching EKSEP Business Solutions, a rebranded approach to employer support. EKSEP Business Solutions is designed to help employers across 23 counties access workforce support, from recruiting and screening to training and wage reimbursements.
Eastern Kentucky has one of the lower rates of labor force participation, so we want to make sure that these folks have the opportunity to stay within Eastern Kentucky, within their communities, and help build those communities up.
EKSEP leaders say businesses can get connected through their local Kentucky Career Center or by visiting eksep.org. We have more information and interest form linked in the web version of this story on WYMT.com. The spirit of giving is flowing this season, and students in the University of Pikeville's Upward Bound program are hoping to keep their neighbors in need warm through the winter. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has a look at a program all about warm souls.
What started as a sparse sock drive soon blossomed into boxes of blessings.
We were a little nervous at first because a couple times we went out and there weren't like a lot of socks. But then it seems like these kids really came together and got like the community involved as well as the schools.
Students from Pike, Floyd, Martin, and Letcher counties set up donation stations in their schools, collecting socks and winter accessories as part of the University of Pikeville Upward Bound program's Warm Souls Project.
Not only does it help teach them, what they need to help be successful in life, but it also gets, them the ideal of like giving.
The sock boxes were delivered to the West Care Perry Klein Emergency Shelter Monday, bringing in more donations than organizers expected.
Yep, we'll pass it right on down.
They did a great job. We collected over right at 1,000 pairs of socks, so just under 1,000. So that's pretty good for 2 months' time.
Shelter Program Director Karen Spears says the impact of the Warm Souls Project cannot be overstated.
Just perfectly timed in that they brought them right now. This should last us all year long.
She says the need is great, not only for the residents of the shelter, but the unhoused neighbors who benefit from its winter outreaches.
We do these bridge bags, and they have sleeping bags and jackets and coats and gloves and socks and things, and so that'll help us a long way in getting that done too.
Spears says it is a blessing to see the students being the hands and feet to protect the hands and feet of those in need.
It broadens their mind of what reality is for some people in the world, and so I think they just want to do more and they just want to give back, and I think that's amazing.
In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The emergency shelter is always accepting donations. To see how you can help, call 606-432-9442. A family gathered at the University of Kentucky Hospital to sing Christmas carols. Stacy Lease and her family have been singing carols at the hospital for the last 5 years. Lease says the purpose behind the family's yearly tradition is to spread holiday cheer and something even more special.
I had my brain surgery here at UK Hospital in 2020, right before the pandemic. I was the very last surgery here at UK. And I actually relearned how to talk because of the pandemic shutdown. I relearned how to talk by singing.
Lise hopes to continue caroling with her family and spreading holiday joy through song. Right now marks the season of giving, and here in Kentucky, it's also the season of spreading illness. The Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services is warning everyone that certain respiratory illnesses are on the uptick right now. They say COVID-19 cases are low but increasing. Holly Sands with the Lexington-Fayette County Health Department says they're also seeing a lot of pertussis cases right now.
The problem with respiratory illnesses is that you are infectious and you don't even know it. So you're spreading it around before your symptoms even begin. And so we want people to be aware of that.
Sands says getting vaccinated against these illnesses is the biggest step you can take in protecting yourself. However, it takes about 2 weeks for someone to develop that immunity. And we are just 2 weeks away from the WYMT Winter Blood Drive on Monday, January 5th. The KBC Blood Mobile will be in front of the station from 3 p.m. until 7 p.m. that day. All donors will receive a limited edition KBC hoodie while supplies last. KBC officials say they want to get at least 19 units of blood. Actress Jennifer Garner is now serving up her kitchen concoctions on YouTube. That and more in a look of today's Eye on Entertainment Report.
And temperatures are continuing to warm throughout this week. We'll talk about how warm your Christmas will be.